We keep on moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. Moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. Yeah, no, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Work to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, though. Gotta keep it grooving, keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are Interscope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working. Keep on moving, we keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. Never gonna lose it, cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into their amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can't compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best. Keep on moving, we keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. Never slowing down, never moving. We keep on moving along. Keep it moving, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate? Oh yes, here we are. It's Thursday. Yes, it's the last day of my weekly streaming, which is sort of good for me, and might be sort of good for you. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just checking something here. I'm just checking something. It's all right. I didn't check it. I got my hot. It's too hot. It's muggy. It's cloudy. It's very hot. Anyway, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Wherever and whatever you're doing in the world, I hope you are well. If you're new here, you hello. And if you're not new here, you might see something new. And it's that. Grift, Gaz. I'm going to grift. I've got a bank of monitors here, and these are old. And eventually, these are going to fail, right? So I need assistance on getting that. So if you can help in any way, go there or follow that and help, and that'll be great if you like the streams and my efforts. Anyway, I hope you're all well. Like I say, it's boiling hot again. I am getting a little bit concerned now about the water, I must admit, especially with the things that were said to me in the past about watch the water. And then you've got, like, I've just watched that on the edge of Africa, on northern Africa. You've got Tangiers, and to the right you've got, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's C-E, is it Quenta? I don't know how you pronounce it. But a load of Africans have broke round into Spain, the Spanish bit of North Africa. Now, I don't know what the ramifications are for that. I don't know if that means that they are going to be, I don't know, what are the Spanish going to do now? The Spanish have got a very far left government. They've just given, apparently, 500,000 illegals their residency. I don't know what's going on. I think it's all by design. I think, personally, there is some sort of invasion of Europe going on. I think a lot of people would agree. Weirdly, a lot of people wouldn't, which is, I find, very strange as well, which I don't understand. But anyway, it is what it is. We're going to get into this stream, so let's see. Too Shy's here, everybody. How you doing, Too Shy? Yeah, I am worried about the water, though. I'm worried if it don't rain soon, I got to tell you. And the beautiful, wonderful, and soon-to-be very drunk Beth Gish is here, everybody. Cheers. Cheers. Yes, cheers indeed. So what's the first one, then? Well, it's going to be, money, isn't it? Really, it's all about the money. Everything seems to be going downhill. I just watched a thing on YouTube, and it was about the night. Was it 1922? The crash of the 1920s. That crash. Oh, what's coming is going to be so much worse than that. Bit of advice: make sure you've got facilities to clean water. Make sure, next week I'm going to go out and buy a lot of water. Plus, I've got some things I need to fill up with water. I'm getting a bit concerned about the water situation. I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest at this point. I don't know how many more weeks this country will be able to manage with so many people using so much water when there is no rain. If there's no real substantial rain and we just keep getting these hot days, I don't know. But anyway, get yourself sorted out for water. That's my advice. And get some cash out of your bank. Make sure you've got some cash, because if it goes wrong, which it looks like it might be soon, you won't be able to get any money out of your bank because it'll all be gone. So just so you know. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Bank holds interest rates, but it says it's ready to raise them if Iran war escalates. So that'll be good, won't it? So we got Burnham is going to start trying to put up the all your taxes, or all of our taxes, I should say, everywhere, left, right, and centre. That's gonna be. Oh, here we going. Come on, sort it out. That's gonna be. Nazulium is here, everybody. Good to see you, Nazulium. Visit there, Nazulium, if you want to support me. I know you tend to now and again, but that's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. But we'll see how we get on over the next few months. Yeah, so we can have more taxes, right? And then, so now the bank says bank holds interest rates, but says it is ready to raise them if Iran war escalates. Well, in my opinion, the Iran war is absolutely going to escalate. It's already escalating. In my opinion, it's not going to. There's no slowing it down now. Really, I don't think. There's no ramp, is there, for Trump? Well, how are they going to stop now? What is going on? Why did they start this in the first place? It's all on the knife's edge. I feel like any minute now something's going to go. Any minute. Any minute. It's weird. I've got a feeling. I don't know if you've got the same sort of feeling as me, but I've got a feeling that any minute something's going to go. The Bank of England has kept interest rates unchanged for the 5th meeting in a row, but has indicated it could raise them if the Iran war escalates. Like, that's going to stop any time soon. It expects inflation, the rate at which prices rise, to pick up due to volatile oil and gas prices caused by the Middle East conflict, although the peak will be slightly lower than previously thought. Really? That's a prediction, isn't it, really? It's not guaranteed, is it? The bank voted to hold interest rates at 3.75% at its latest meeting. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey warned the future of the UK interest rates depended on whether the US-led war against Iran continues. Well, it's going to continue. Trump keeps telling everybody he keeps telling everybody that he's won. Yes, I'm the greatest president of all time. We've won the war. Iran is finished. Iran is begging for a deal. Well, not really. Not really, is it? They've been attacking again. They're just doing what they do now. And it's going wider and wider. Apparently, well, I'll get into it if it's on here. I think I've got it on here. We might have. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey warned the future of interest rates, UK interest rates, depending on whether the US-led war against Iran continues. I did read that. I know it's hot. Shush. Look, it's sent in BBC. I'm not a professional at this. It's my hobby, all right? Give me a break. While major uncertainties remain because of the war, the bank predicts the UK economy will grow this year by more than previously forecast. It predicts it. It predicts it because that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to keep that positive momentum going as long as you can. When I watched that documentary, that thing on the crash of the 1920s or whenever it was, mainly the banks knew, the main bankers knew. They'd already pulled out of everything. They were all right. They knew what was going on, but The normal people were just carrying on as normal the day before. And it was at 10 o'clock the next morning that things started going seriously wrong. So it happens really quick when it happens. Nazulium, one of the Iranian leaders was killed last night. Oh, I don't know. Defy Tyrants is here, everybody. Good to see you, mate. No, I didn't know. It's going to carry on, though, whatever's going on, isn't it? Bailey told the BBC, if we get a continuation of this conflict going on and oil prices stay above $100 a barrel, the odds are the interest rates will have to go up higher. Now, I don't understand that. Why? I don't understand. I don't. I just don't. But he also said if a ceasefire and a memorandum of understanding is established, they've already done that. They've already done that already, and it's gone all wrong. And sticks, that would make a difference. So it depends on how the events in the Middle East, frankly, unfold. And sadly, we all know this is highly unpredictable, Bailey said. What goes on in the Gulf is not, I'm afraid, under our control. So now we're going to start feeling, the UK is going to start proper feeling it. It's, financially now, everyday people. If you've got a mortgage and the interest rates go up, I mean, where does it end? Do you know what I mean? That stops people spending. It's bad enough as it is for everyone, isn't it, really? 3 members of the bank's 9-member rate-setting committee voted for a hike, one more than the previous meeting, with that member explicitly citing the collapse of the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding for their vote to raise rates. However, speaking at an earlier news conference, Bailey said the bank was not currently moving towards raising interest rates. Please do not leave this room thinking that the Bank of England is edging towards a hike, because frankly, there's nothing in what I said, and I think any of us have said along those lines, he told reporters. If the Iran war continues and oil prices hover around $100 a barrel, then a rate rise seems likely, but many in the markets expect tensions to subside in the coming weeks ahead of the crucial elections across the US in the autumn. I don't think it's going to subside. I don't think anybody at this point has got a say in it. I think now it's in the hands of the Iranians. They've even said Trump don't decide when this war stops now. The genie's basically out of the bottle. And people have been, there's been a lot of destruction and death now. It's not. And they were supposed to be defeated, like really, It's so wrong. If you ever seen a cluster, I think they call it a clusterfuck. I think that's the technical term for this, and I think it is one of the biggest ones we've seen yet. Oh dear. Interest rate held, yeah, right there. Okay, so there's the interest rates. Oil and gas prices have seen wild swings in recent days because of uncertainty over the status of the conflict. On Monday, the price of crude fell as US President Donald Trump said there were very friendly negotiations. He said there were very friendly negotiations, and then Iran said they not even spoke to him. Who's been to Epstein's Island, mate? Everyone. I think it's massively got something to do with all this, to be honest. A very friendly happening between Washington and Tehran. On Wednesday, oil shot up more than $91 per barrel as Trump said of Iran, "We'll be hitting them hard. They are going to get a beating." I think he said it a bit more blue than that. I can't remember. Defy Tyrant says, China could put a stop to this war in one day. Tell Trump they won't do any trade or any business with America unless Trump stops war. End of war. Perhaps. Marie Walker is here, everybody. Good to see you. Make sure you go and check that, and make sure you check that, mate. Everybody, make sure you have a look. Do the thumbs up thing and the subscribe thing and all that. Yeah, good, great. Anyway, shut up. Inflation has fallen far. Ah, right. Where am I? I don't know. On Wednesday, oil shot up. Yeah. Recent data showed the UK inflation eased to 2.6% in the year to June, when diesel and petrol prices fell during a brief lull in hostilities between the US and Iran. Bank Governor Bailey said inflation has fallen faster than expected, but the conflict in the Middle East continues to mean high and volatile energy prices that will cause inflation to rise again this year. However, as the conflict unfolds, our job is to make sure any increase in inflation is temporary and that it comes back to our 2% target. Yeah. Do you remember back in the day when they introduced taxes? That was temporary. Do you remember that? Do you ever see that in history? Have a look into that if you don't know about it. Taxes weren't always there. And then they brought them in and they said they were temporary. Yeah, and now look at it. Now look at where the tax is now. Everywhere. I need mortgage rates to come down. Oh, look at that nice British person there. It's great. Priya Kapadia. What? Priya Kapadia, right, has owned her home for 2.5 years. Well, she don't own it. The bank owns it. You don't own anything. You don't own anything. Even if you've got a house and you've paid for it outright, you don't own it. They can take anything off you whenever they want to. Don't be no illusion. Or when you get so old that you need some sort of care, they'll sell your house and they'll pay fortunes for you to be in some old people's home. About $3,000 a week or whatever it is. Anyway, Priya Kapadia has owned her home, well the banks do, for 2.5 years and is coming to the end of her original fixed term deal with an interest rate of over 5.5%. She says she needs rates to come down to save money on her mortgage so she can pay other bills. We are already paying twice what we were paying as rent for our mortgage, she says. I don't believe that. How fucking big's her mortgage? How big's her mortgage if she's paying double what she was paying in rent? You know what I mean? Sounds a bit fishy to me. Adding it's eroded about 50% of the money they had to spend on other things. I'm not even talking about luxuries or comforts. I haven't had a holiday. We don't go out to eat. She says, adding that bills such as gas, electricity and council tax have risen. If the Bank of England's rate stays at the 3.75% as it is now, and if the lenders out there don't come down significantly, then I'm going to probably save about £10 or £20 a month. If the rate goes down further, she thinks she could save up to £150 a month. She could save that. I'd love to know what her mortgage is. The Bank of England examined a range of scenarios of what might happen to inflation and the economy depending on the Middle East conflict. Inflation was previously expected to reach 3.5% this year. In a worst case scenario where oil prices reach $100 a barrel, that's not the worst case scenario. 150, 200 is the worst case scenario. 100? We're all getting sort of used to it hovering around there now, aren't we? The bank now projects that inflation could reach 3.2% in 2026. In a scenario where oil prices are around $76 before falling back to $71, inflation could reach 3%. While better than previously forecast, that remains above the Bank of England's 2% target. The UK economy is expected to grow by 1.1% this year, ahead of forecasts the bank made in April. Massive growth. The Bank of England is ready to raise rates if the war in the Gulf continues to escalate, leading to higher oil costs and, in particular, elevated gas prices as Europe refills its storage capacity ahead of winter. But the judgment on that changes day by day depending on the responses of the US and Iran. If, as seemed to be the case just a month ago, a ceasefire returns and holds, I don't think so, then energy prices could fall rapidly and raise the prospect of a rate cut. I don't think so. Megan Green, one of the 3 members of the bank's rate-setting committee who voted to raise rates to 4%, said that while there was uncertainty because of the Iranian war, other risks loom over inflation. These include a second choke point for global energy supplies in the Red Sea. Houthi rebels in Yemen recently attacked oil tankers passing through the region. There are also new factors that the bank is considering: droughts around the world and the prospect of a super El Nino weather pattern could hike food prices. The price of technology could also be affected by the current convolutions in the market for microchips. Yeah, there's a lot going on, isn't there? There literally is loads of issues at the minute. I can't remember such a time in my life. I really can't. I honestly can't. Can any of you remember such a time where there were so many things going on? Do you know what I mean? And the weather included. I don't remember it ever being like this. Not the weather, I mean everything. All of it. It just feels like it's teetering on the edge. Anyway, what have we got for you next? Iran claims ballistic missile strike destroyed 3 US F-35 jets at Jordan Air Base. Well, I think their claim is true, personally. I think that is a true claim from what I've seen on like Telegram and stuff. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says attack on Al-Azraq Air Base was retaliation for US strike on Qasem Island. Jordan says it intercepted 5 Iranian missiles. Istanbul. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed Thursday that it targeted Al-Azraq Air Base in Jordan's eastern desert with ballistic missiles, destroying 3 F-35 fighter jets and heavily damaging 3 others, according to Iranian media. In a statement, the IR... I thought Trump said Iran was done with their missiles. I thought he said they were finished. Why are they blowing up all your F-35s? How's that work? If you've already destroyed them, Trump, come on. What's going on? In a statement, the IRGC said its aerospace forces struck the deployment ramp and maintenance hangar housing US F-35 fighter jets at Al-Azraq Air Base with several ballistic missiles, describing the attack as a response to US strike on 2 residential homes on Iran's Qasem Island. The IRGC claimed that 3 F-35 aircraft were completely destroyed, while 3 others sustained heavy damage. It also claimed that several officers, as well as technical and maintenance personnel, were killed in the attack. The statement came hours after a missile struck a house on Qasem Island, injuring 2 people during a wave of US attacks across southern Iran, according to Mir news agency. Earlier Thursday, the Jordanian army said it intercepted and downed 5 missiles launched from Iran toward the kingdom, making the 4th consecutive day of such incidents. On Wednesday, Jordan said it had downed 5 missiles after intercepting 1 drone on Tuesday and 2 drones on Monday. The developments came as the US Central Command said American forces launched strikes against Iran in response to what it described as attempted Iranian attacks on US forces in the Middle East a day earlier. Why did he ever do that? Why did they ever attack Iran? They have just caused so much shit, haven't they? I mean, honestly, what were they? Do they think? Have these people got a brain? Do they actually think? I know they're all super uber rich, right? And they're all getting even more super uber duber rich with all the things that are going on. And loads of people are making fortunes out of all this. But ultimately, the rest of us are going to have to pay heavily, in my opinion, for all this shit. And it's so unnecessary, it really winds me up, to be honest, as you can probably tell. It just goes on and on. It just don't end. It's just never ending. US and Iran trade missile barrages as hopes dim for a quick resolution to war. So I mean, you got the Bank of England sort of going, oh yeah, don't worry about interest rates. You know, we've held them, but you know, yeah, we got a feeling it's going to calm down. No, it isn't going to calm down anytime soon. It isn't. How is this? See, the thing for me is, how is this going to be resolved? One way or the other. Because Americano land can't be. If the Yanks, right, could have done America, it could have done Iran, they'd have done them by now. They'd have done it. It'd have been done by now. I'm telling you now, if it could have been done, there'd have been a ground invasion. If they could do a ground invasion, they would have done it. If they could have done it by sea, they'd have done it. If they could have done it, they can't do it. All they can do is launch missiles at them from distance. They can't do it. So what is going on? I know they can't do it. I'm sure you know they can't do it. Why don't they know they can't do it? What needs to happen for them to realise that they're not going to defeat Iran? It's just not happening, is it? Regardless of what you feel about Iran and whatever, or Americano land or whatever, regardless of what your feelings on any of it, how the fuck does this stop? Because even if right, well, the only way I can see it stops, right, is if the Americans pull everything out of the Middle East, pull everything out of the Middle East. Then I think the Iranians will calm down. But other than that, I don't think they're going to stop. I don't think they're going to stop. Because if you've attacked them and you've talked down to them, they're an ancient civilization. What does he think? What does he fucking think? He's John Wayne. He's going to ride in on a horse, give it the big one with his white hat and his white boots, with his gold spurs on. Give it the large one, and then the Iranians are all going to fucking fold over. Is that what he thought? Because it hasn't, has it? It really hasn't, though, has it? Andrea is here, everybody! How you doing, mate? Good to see you. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a nice evening. I hope you've had a nice day as well. Yeah, so I can't see any way of getting... they're going to get out of this. I just can't see it. Unless they pull out everything's got to come out of the Middle East, the American, everything. Because it's starting to spread now as well. This is starting to spread. You've had things with Egypt now, Iraq. It's gonna get worse. It just doesn't seem to be getting any better. Anyway, let's have a look at this. US and Iran trade missile barrages as hopes dim for a quick resolution to war. The United States and Iran each fired barrages of missiles Thursday, as the pattern of back and forth strikes took hold again, and hope dimmed for a quick end to the 5-month conflict. Following a few days of respite, fears of a wider war have grown, with renewed fighting threatening to engulf even more countries. Jordan said Thursday it's intercepted Iranian missiles for the second consecutive day, while Kuwait said a strike in the northern part of the country killed one person. Also this week, drones caused fires on ships at the Egyptian port, and Saudi Arabia said it came under fire from Iran-backed militias in Iraq. It's getting wider, isn't it, now? It's getting silly. It's going to get really crazy. The war, which in its early days, President Donald Trump said would last 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 fucking weeks. 5 months later. What is going on? Although he warned it could take longer, has caused the price of fuel to spike and Roiled, Roiled, riled. Oh, riled. Riled the shut up. Riled the global economy. As months have passed, concerns have deepened about using up stockpile of weapons the US needs to defend its bases and allies. Yeah, because they're going to run out of missiles, aren't they? They're literally going to run out of stuff, and Iran's just going to keep pumping it all out. How can you beat them? We note with concern that the security situation. Oh no, sorry. The recent pause in fighting, which began over the weekend and spurred hopes among mediators of diplomatic progress, ended with increasing missile and drone attacks across many countries in the Middle East. We note with concern that the security situation remains precarious, said Pakistani Foreign Minister spokesperson Tahir Andrabi, whose country has been a key mediator, adding that diplomats were still seeking an end to the fighting. Talks are ongoing to normalise the situation, particularly the situation in the Strait of Hormuz, he told reporters. I thought Trump said, if they don't open up the strait, I'm going to bomb them into oblivion. Didn't he say that? And they haven't opened up the strait, and he hasn't. Because he can't. He hasn't because he literally can't. They just can't. The US and Iran trade strikes. An Iranian strike hit a Chinese firm's building. A Chinese firm's building in Kuwait on Thursday, severely damaging the structure and killing a worker. Kuwait's military said hours after Jordan's air defences shot down 5 missiles launched from Iran. No injuries were reported from Jordan's interception. Jordan's state-run Patriot BBC state-run propaganda agency said, quoting the spokesman for the country's armed forces, both countries are US allies and host American troops. Well, they're going to be up for attack then, aren't they, by the Iranians? The attack came after the US military said it completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran, conducted in response to an earlier Iranian missile attack on a US base in Jordan. The military central command said in a social media post that the US struck dozens of targets belonging to Iran's Revolutionary Guard, including military compound centres, missile and drone facilities, and coastal surveillance and defence sites. Iran's official IRNA news agency said 3 people were killed and 2 were wounded in a strike on the island of Kezem. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, which lies just off the Iranian mainland in the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial waterway for the world's energy supplies that has been the centre of the conflict. It's not been the centre of the conflict. It wasn't. The Strait of Hormuz was open. There was no issue with the Strait of Hormuz and Iran until Israel and Trump attacked it. That's the fact. That's the absolute fact of the matter. It doesn't matter whose side you're on. The fact of the matter is there wasn't an issue with the strait. The ships were going back. It was all working until Trump thought he could just jump in, annihilate the Ayatollah, and within 2 or 3 days the whole place would collapse. We're 5 months in. And he's still president. What? I mean, what?
What?
They've got some elections coming up soon. I don't know what that's going to do. I've no idea. It's just crazy. The latest barrage came after the US partnered with Saudi Arabia on Wednesday to strike Iran-backed militias in Iraq. So Saudi Arabia and Americanos are now firing into Iraq, killing at least 20 fighters and 6 Iranian advisors. Fires were reported on 2 national gas vessels at an Egyptian port. Also, I think I covered this in the week. Also on Wednesday, British maritime security firm Aubrey said drone strikes ignited fires on 2 natural gas vessels in the Egyptian port of Damietta. It was not immediately clear who was responsible for the strikes on US-owned floating storage facility and a Greek-owned tanker. No injuries were reported. The office of the Egyptian Prime Minister said initial investigations showed the fires on the 2 vessels had been caused by a drone. Egypt, a close US ally and regional mediator, is one of the only countries in the Middle East to have been spared direct military action during the war. A strike by Iran or its allies, if confirmed, would mark a significant widening of the conflict. Asked during an Oval Office event if Iran was responsible for the strikes on the vessels, Trump responded, "It's a little more. It's a little more of the same." Okay. The Damietta Port Authority said Thursday in a statement on Facebook that the facility was fully operational. The Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen denied they were behind the attack. And this goes, there's only a bit more, let's have a go. The war has wreaked havoc on the global economy. Since Iran began threatening and firing on ships in the... Since Iran... See, this is what pisses me off with all this stuff. Since Iran began threatening and firing on ships in the Strait of Hormuz early in the war... No, since they were attacked, illegally attacked, by America and Israel. Let's get it right. Let's get it absolutely correct now, shall we? But they're trying to pin it on Iran. Nothing was happening until they attacked Iran. Fucking... Since Iran began threatening... No, since America and Israel illegally attacked Iran... And then they started firing on ships in the Strait of Hormuz early in the war. The conflict has wreaked havoc on the global economy as energy shipments through the waterway ground to a near halt. Much of the diplomacy around ending the war has focused on reopening the strait, through which 20% of the oil, we all know this. The strait is once again effectively closed, and in recent weeks, fighting elsewhere has squeezed energy supplies further. Goes on and on and on. There's no end to it. It's just going to go on and on. I just don't know when we're going to start seeing, like, fuel is running out. Because it could be, I mean, don't get me wrong, I hope it don't happen, for fuck's sake. But it looks to me like we could have, like, everything could all happen at once. You could have, I mean, the worst scenario is, no, I'm fine. The worst scenario, realistically, is 1, we run out of fuel. 2, then we run out of water. 3, and there's an economic collapse. All around the same period. Now, that is a catastrophe that I don't think any of us are going to be ready for. I don't care how much you prep. Because there's no prepping out of that. I don't know. I really don't know. But each one of those things at this point seems to be on the cards. Major drought, right? Major drought, major financial crisis, a major fuel crisis. Then what? It's going to be a weird fucking place if all that goes off at once, isn't it? It's going to be a strange old place to be, in my opinion. If that all comes to fruition, I can't see any other way around it. Think about it like this. How do you fix the economy as it stands at the minute? How do you fix that? Well, you can't. Right? You can't. The public debt and the private debt is just massive. It's colossal all over the place. America, England, Europe. It's just huge. So that is on the edge. Right? It's got to be. Loads of top people who know all about that stuff are saying any minute now, really. A lot of them are surprised it hadn't already happened. Right? Now we've got now whether it is geoengineering or not, I don't know. Whether it's a result of what they've been doing to the weather beforehand with all these things in the sky that we keep seeing, And now nature has just turned itself right, done a 360, and now there's no rain. What if it carries on not raining? What if that is, just say it is nature, right? Which, I don't know. Or is it by design? Again, I don't know. But at the moment, it's looking pretty... I mean, every week that goes by and there's no real water, we're in trouble. A lot of fucking trouble. Water is really essential. 3 days. I don't know if you're aware of this, if you're watching this. 3 days without water, you are finished. Morte. Gone. Done. 3 days. Food, a few weeks. Good few weeks. Depends. Me, good few weeks. Water, no way. No way. Days. 3 days. Pretty much you're done. That's it. We've got so many people in this country now. This country is got so many people in it. And we're all using the water. We're all using it. I want to see big storms, me. I don't want to see mass flooding, don't get me wrong. I just want to see some rain now. I just want to see some proper rain. Let's get some rain. Fill up. Because the thing is, they haven't put in place the reservoir. They haven't done the infrastructure, have they? They've took the profits for the shareholders and all that, but have they built the infrastructure to sustain such a population in such a catastrophe? And they're the ones been going on about global warming. They're the ones who've been saying about climate. So don't you think they should have put something in place ready for that, if that's what they believe? Who did I just see come in? Marge is here. And end usury and cancel all the debts. Wow, they're never going to do that, are they, Marge? Marge is here, everybody. Never going to do that, Marge. That's their game, isn't it? That's their whole game. That's the whole point of everything, to have us all doing stuff so they don't have to. Anyway, what's this? So this blows my mind. This next story, this just blows my mind. Right? Have a look at this. US strikes $58.6 billion Patriot missile deal amid rising stockpile concerns. Does that send a signal like they think the wars are going to end? Does that actually look like a signal to you that these wars are going to come to some sort of nice, happily ever after finish? US strikes $58.6 billion Patriot missile deal amid rising stockpile concerns. The Lockheed award converts a previous one-year deal from $4.7 billion awarded in April into a 7-year draft agreement, creating a multi-year procurement plan for the interceptors from fiscal 2006 through to 2032, the Army said. Pentagon negotiators are pressing contractors to move much faster with the tentative production agreements struck earlier this year at the centre of efforts to increase missile output. The administration of President Donald Trump, has also steadily increased pressure on defence contractors to prioritise production over shareholder payouts. They want the missiles. They need the missiles. See where this is? Trump signed an executive order in January to identify contractors deemed to be underperforming on government contracts while continuing to distribute profits to shareholders. Industry executives have welcomed the production agreements, but said Congress must first appropriate funding before companies can invest more heavily in components and production capacity. Exact terms and delivery dates for many Pentagon munitions deals are still under negotiation. See, they haven't even got their eggs in order, their ducks in a row when it comes to having their weapons all built. They're not even got it. So it's like, yeah, we can fire off all these things, but we've got them churning out, and they cost a fortune, and they take years to make. So anybody think this Iran thing's going to be over anytime soon? That's without the Russia-Ukraine thing. But we're not even into that bit. We're not even talking about that. A similar framework deal had been struck with Raytheon's parent company, RTX, to boost production of Tomahawk cruise missiles from the current rate of 60 per year. 60 per year. They use that in a few days at this rate, don't they? 60 per year US to eventually 1,000 units annually. Lockheed and Bethesda, Maryland-based defense contractor, said the funding would allow it to follow through on a promise to triple PAC-3 MSE production capacity by the end of 2030. It's going to be too little too late, I think. And increase jobs at its Camden, Arkansas plant by 50% to around 1,850 from 1,200. Lockheed previously announced Patriot PAC-3 missile interceptor production would go to 2,000 units annually. I mean, I don't know what the Americanos have used so far in all this and what it's cost. And what's the outcome? There's still no outcome. It's insane. It's insane. Lockheed Martin said it is investing $8 billion to $9 billion through 2030 to modernise more than 20 US facilities, including new munition centres in Alabama and Arkansas. PAC-3 MSE is a hit-to-kill interceptor used within the Patriot air defence system to counter ballistic missiles, cruise missiles and aircraft. Can't stop hypersonic missiles. Can't intercept a hypersonic missile. The Center for Strategic and International Studies, a Washington-based think tank, estimated this week that the US military has fewer than 1,000 Patriot interceptors on hand and fewer than 250 THAAD interceptors. Two key air defence systems. Both have seen recent heavy use in the Middle East. They're running out of stuff. They're running out of stuff by the looks of it. They're saying they're not, but it looks like they're running out of stuff. And talking about running out of stuff, right, let's move back to the UK for a minute. Have a look at this for running out of stuff. You ain't going to believe this. Patient beds angled in ED corridors. Hospital makes plans to pitch tents in winter surge. Tents.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Tents, right? Christchurch Hospital has emergency plans to pitch a tent outside as corridors fill up with patients in beds, according to one doctor. And in some cases, beds are already being angled in corridors in order to fit more in. Hospitals around the country are also feeling the pressure of winter sickness, and while the government put $25 million into extra staffing and beds to get ready, Christchurch Hospital Dr. Dominic Fletcher says there still isn't enough. Speaking to Morning Report, Fletcher said it was busy, but not unexpected. While an increase in patients is normal, winter occurrence, the number needing seem to get worse each year, and this year is certainly worse than last. Right, now this is dated because I read this and I thought, are they talking about last winter? But this is dated July, the 29th of July. So this was yesterday. So I don't know what they're talking about, this winter thing. I don't know how they work it. I don't know what that is. While an increase in patients is normal winter occurrence, the number needing to be seen seemed to get worse each year. And this year it's certainly worse than last. Patients being seen in hallways and waiting rooms was not new, Fleischer said. But where beds used to be parallel parked in the corridors, they are now having to be angled at an angle. And now need to put them in an angle. Oh, for fuck's sake. We're now having to angle them in to fit in more. Shut up. This essentially blocked off the space, and he wasn't sure what the next option was. Is this in the UK? I'm sure it is. I don't know. Hang on. This is sort of innovation. What is wrong with me? This is sort of Is it me or is it how they write this stuff? It really bugs me. This is sort of innovation in a dangerous manner, he said. Why didn't you say this is innovation in a dangerous manner? Wouldn't they write it like that? Fucking idiots. Either we have to go up and bunk some patients, or we have to go out into the car park or the ambulance bay and put patients in tents. Fleischer said plans were drawn up for using tents outside, but officials would hold off on that as long as possible, as the look will be atrocious. They're concerned about the look of it. Is this in England? But corridor medicine was bad and patients couldn't be looked after properly, he said. Our corridors are full and getting worse than last year, and I'm sure next year will be worse than this year. Yeah, because they've all had that, haven't they? So they're all going to get really sick again. There were not enough monitors for patients in corridors, no call buttons or meal service, he said. Patients felt vulnerable, and it was not a dignified way to treat them. Is this in the UK? Where is this? Hang on, I might have fucking read some other country's thing. Hang on. Christchurch. Is that... Where is Christ? Is that in the UK? I thought this was a UK story. Hang on. Let me look into this just briefly. What's time? I don't know if it is. I don't know if that's... let me just put it in there. Yeah, that you're right there. This winter, I won't repeat it because it's YouTube, but you're right there, Bethyish. Definitely. Yeah, Christchurch Hospital, part of the University Hospitals, Dorset. Yeah, it's the UK. So they're talking about putting tents outside. But we got money for the Ukraine, don't forget, and for the illegals and all that. Don't worry about all that. No, don't worry about them. They're fine. Just don't end up in hospital yourself needing the NHS, because you might end up in the car park in a tent. Yeah, but don't worry about it. Yeah, well, that says Christchurch Hospitals, UK. Is it Christchurch, New Zealand? I don't know. How would I know? I honestly don't know. I thought it was... Anyway, I don't know where it is. But it's going to be everywhere, isn't it? You know. It's bad, whatever. That is pretty bad. Last one for you, just reaffirming what I was saying earlier on this one. Drought declared across whole of Wales. I am particularly getting a little bit worried about this this drought shit now, really. I am. If it's Dorset, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. But it's a bad situation wherever it is. Yeah, drought declared across the whole of Wales. Natural Resources Wales has declared a drought across the whole of Wales after weeks of hot weather and very little rain. The announcement comes just a week after drought was declared in North Wales and the Upper Severn. Officials say the dry conditions have now spread across the country. Wales has received only 8% of its normal rainfall during July. 8%. Making this month likely to become the driest July since records began 190 years ago. Many rivers are now at extremely low levels, including the Wye, Usk, Telford, Clyde, Conway and Clowdew, whatever that. Groundwater supplies are also continuing to fall, NRW has said on Thursday afternoon. The lack of rain is putting increasing pressure on wildlife farming and the environment. NRW says it has received reports of dying riverbeds, fish struggling to survive, algal blooms, and high risk of wildfires. Farmers are also concerned about crops, grazing land, and water supplies for livestock. NRW is releasing extra water from reservoirs where possible to help rivers and wildlife, and is continuing to monitor conditions across Wales. Fucking hell, I thought that was just going to be a little thing. Rhian Thomas, Sustainable Water and Nature Manager at RNW, said, the intensity of the heat and the exceptional lack of rainfall means this is a rapidly changing picture in Wales. It is across everywhere. It is everywhere. This is you've got to get your water supply in order, in my opinion, soon, if you haven't already. You've got to start thinking about it. A lot of water. Because you think, even if there's water locally to you, if that fucking goes, if that goes, what then? I don't know. It's mental. So, Nature Manager, yeah. Our teams are closely monitoring forecasts and river flows and responding to increasing environmental concerns and incidents across Wales. The toll on the environment, our land and our agriculture is clear to see, with many of our teams still dealing with the aftermath of extensive wildfires, arson, which have devastated forestry, grassland and special habitats. With no strong indications for notable rainfall in the forecasts and risks of further heat waves over the summer, it is more important than ever that we all use water wisely, that we all stock up on water. Every drop we waste is less water for our rivers and wildlife, and for us, which they're not mentioning, when they need it the most. NRW says there is little rain expected in the coming weeks and further heat waves are possible this summer. The organisation is working with the Welsh Government, water companies and the Environment Agency to monitor conditions, including on cross-border rivers such as the Wye. So, anyway, I think, me personally, I think there's only two scenarios. Well, there's three scenarios only, really. One, they've been messing about up there, haven't they? And this is nature kicking back. This is just nature kicking back. I mean, I remember listening to Radio 4 some time ago, and they were talking about it, and I couldn't believe it was on Radio 4 that they were talking about geoengineering. All them lines in the sky. I couldn't believe it. And they said, like, oh yeah, Bill Gates is trying to dim out the sun and all this. And they've got this, they're doing this experiment in the UK and in Europe. And somebody was saying to them, well, what if it goes wrong? What happens if it goes wrong? Well, what happens if it has gone wrong and now we ain't going to get no fucking rain? What then? We're in a lot of bother then. A lot of bother. You know what I mean? You could have fucking $5,000 and it won't buy you a bucket. Because a bucket will be the most valuable thing to get to a river and get some water. If there is a river. You need water. You need rain somewhere to get water. If you ain't got water, you're done. It's over. Finished. Anyway, on that note, have a lovely weekend, won't ya? Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. It's later than you think. Right, I'm gonna go. I'll be back Monday. God willing. Who knows? Hopefully it'll be fucking rain by then. But I doubt it. It's all dodgy. I'll see you later. Don't have nightmares. Bye.
We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Work to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, though. Gotta keep it grooving, keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are in a scope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up.
up. I never take a pay cut. We getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint cause we know it's really working.
Keep on moving.
Moving.
We keep on moving along.
Keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down,
Keep
never
on moving.
moving.
We keep on moving along.
Keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't
Keep it rolling, keep
slowing
it moving.
it
We
down.
ain't never gonna lose it. Cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into their amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never. Never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best.
Keep on moving.
Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it rolling.
We ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
Moving.
moving.
We keep on moving
Keep it
along.
moving, keep it moving, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Who's been to Epstein Island, mate?